Okay, today we're back at one of my shooting permissions again, and today I'm going to be doing a long-term review of the Brocock Ranger XR. I've had it nearly 2 years now, and thought I'd do a review of it and just give you an update on what I'm finding with it. Okay, so nearly 2 years on, I'm still enjoying shooting the gun. Cracking little rifle. However, I did have problems with it from the start. Now, on the original advertising blurb, Brocock stated that it was as accurate as any rifle with a longer barrel due to the new hammer system and valve system. The barrel on it is only 10.1 inches long. But what I was finding with it was fine up to 20 yards or 20 metres. After that, the groups would open up significantly, and what I was finding was I couldn't get the holdover right for the longer ranges. So you'd fire one pellet dead at the bullseye on a target, it'd probably drop, I know, 1.5 centimetres, 2 centimetres. You'd take another shot directly at the bull and it'd go above the bullseye by 1 centimetre or so, and it just carried on like that. You could not judge the holdover. So it went back to the shop I bought it from not long after I'd had it, because it had got a leak, it wouldn't hold air. When I took it back, I complained about the accuracy, and they had a look at it, came out and told me they couldn't find anything wrong with it. A couple of months later, I was still getting no joy at longer ranges. Well, then I'd come down to do some rat shooting at the chicken pens. Put the gun down on my bag, taking into account I had not fiddled with it in any way whatsoever. So as I was finishing up, I put the gun down on my bag with the safety on, and it fired a shot down the field. Now, if there'd have been one of the horses down there and I'd hit one of the horses, then I'd have been in all sorts of trouble. But yeah, picked the gun up, completely empty. Put the safety on, cocked it, pulled the trigger, and it fired. So I took it back to the shop then. They managed to sort it out. While I was there, I complained about the accuracy at longer ranges again, and they tested it again, or said they did, said they couldn't find anything wrong with it. So a few more weeks, safety's not working again. Took it back, exactly same thing, told them I still weren't happy with the accuracy. They came out with a card that they said they'd shot at 30 yards with a tiny little group on it, and said that, you know, there was nothing wrong with it, but they'd sorted the safety catch out again. So I decided on my way back down the A1 to come off in Nottinghamshire and nip over to Vector Air at Ollerton, where I had a talk to Carl about it, and he said it might be a problem with your regulator. And I told him they'd just told me that they couldn't find anything wrong with it, and they'd stated it was consistently doing 11.7 foot-pounds. So Carl took it in the back to give it a test. He came out and he said, I don't know how they can claim that because it's all over the place. It was doing anywhere between 10.2 and 11.5. So big variation, which from a rifle that you bought as new shouldn't be happening. So I left it with him. He's had a fiddle about with it. I got it back a few weeks ago, bought it down, set up at 30, and it's absolutely bang on. Now, he told me he'd polished the internals, the hammer and everything else in there, reset the regulator and put a weaker hammer spring in. and whatever else is done, but whatever is done, it's done the job. I'd highly recommend call up Vector Air if you've got any repairs. They're absolutely fantastic. So that's the issues I've had with the gun. It's now firing really well. I've put a different pistol grip on it. It takes an AR-15 grip, and I've had one of the foam rifle stocks grips for it. I've also swapped the XLK moderator for a longer one I'd got. Now this came, the one I've got on it actually came on my TX200, but I tried it on the Brocock, and it's quietened it down even more than the XLK did. So really happy with that. So now I'm really happy I've got the setup I wanted. It's accurate out to longer ranges, and yeah, just spot on little gun. So what I'm going to do now is I'll get some targets set up. I'm at 20 meters at the minute. We'll give it a go there, and then we'll push out to 30, and then I've got some spinners somewhere to try out at 35 and 40. So yeah, I mean, the gun absolutely sound, the concept of it, the folding stock, how small it is, how light it is, it's perfect for what I wanted. The engineering of the gun, absolutely brilliant. Apart from it looked like it's not been set up right, which Carl sorted out for me. But yeah, I'll get the targets set out now and see how we get on with them. Oh, the card's come off. As you can see, it's got a tiny little group. Probably wants a little bit of an adjustment to the right, but that's at 20. Only 3 shots, or 4, I'm not sure. I'll get it put out to 30 now, and we'll have a go at this bottom right target. Okay, so at 30 we're still getting fingernail size groups. This one here actually double loaded the gun without realising. That's why we've got these 2 below there. That was my first shot. I'm going to put it out to 30 yards now, sorry, 35, and we'll start having a go at the spinners. So I'm going to have to set the spinners up the other side of the fence down here, because I haven't got enough room from up by the edge there. Right, okay. I don't know if you saw that. I'll include it on the video. I've had to set the spinners up out past the fence line. Now there's some of this square mesh wire on it, and unfortunately I was able to hit the looking from my end, the one on the left. The one on the right, I was catching the wire at that distance, so I'll leave that in. Hopefully you can hear it ricochet off the wire. But yeah, out to 35, still absolutely bang on. I'll just run through a couple of the things I have had extra for it, and one of them is these elemental objects magazines. They just flip open, just flip straight open, and you fill them up as you do normally. What I found with these is I've heard a few people, there's one still in there, I have heard a few people complaining about them, saying they not very good. I found it to be quite the opposite. The sort of feed a lot smoother, pellets feed a lot smoother into the magazine through these magazines, feed through into the breech from this magazine a lot smoother than they do in the original Brocock one. So I bought 2 of these. They're quite cheap. I think the Brocock ones are about 75-80 quid, and these are around about 30, so I'm more than happy with them. The other thing, same as I said, is I bought a new grip for it from Form Rifle Stocks. It's got a good palm swell on it, a lot better than the skinny thing that was on it. Gives you a lot better handhold on the gun. And the other thing, I mean, I've just took, that's 4 magazines I put through it, so that's 44 shots out of a cylinder that size, and I've probably still got 2 or 3 more shots in it, so say around about 45 shots per fill. But when I'm coming up here doing target work, obviously that's not enough, so I've either got to bring a big air tank with me, or a stirrup pump. In these muddy conditions, there's no way I'm using a stirrup pump. You just pound it into the floor, and the tanks are a bit too heavy to carry. So I spoke to Carl at Vector Air, and he said have a look at Best Fittings, and they do these little tanks. This one's called the Day Tripper. It's a half-litre tank, and I get another 4 fills of the rifle out of that, and that fits in my backpack. So I'm getting, with that I'm getting somewhere around about 170 shots each trip out now. The shooting I do, the hunting I do, I don't need more than what's in that tube. 44 shots is more than enough. But same as say, if it's target work and I'm coming down here or going to a range, then I'll just take that little bottle with me. Not got to lump about big heavy divers tanks or the stirrup pump, which absolutely breaks you even trying to fill a small tube like that. Overall, as I said, I bought the gun because it looked to be exactly what I wanted. Something that would fold up nice and compact and go in a rucksack. The reason I wanted one to go in a rucksack is where I live, this permission and another one I've got further down are quite close to home, sort of like 4 or 5 minutes walk away. So I like to walk to the permission. If you've got a gun bag, there's a lot of nature reserves all the way around here. You've got all these people that's moved into a village and visitors that just don't understand the countryside. Straight away they see somebody with a gun bag, they phone in police, or they're having a go at you, and I just can't be doing with the hassle. So yeah, I wanted something that packed down nice and light, packed into a rucksack, and that's what I've got here. Never get any trouble. Nobody even notices, you know, they don't even know you've got a gun in there in your backpack. So I've not been getting any hassle, because it will get into a point where even when I go fishing, because there's that many nature reserves around here, I'm going fishing on the river where I've got permission to fish, but the sea, one of the footpaths that I have to take to get there goes through one of the nature reserves. So you're walking down, and even though there's no water there, you're getting people stopping you up, time out, what do you think you're doing? And you explain to them. Some of them, yeah, fine. Others just want to keep arguing with you, and it will get to a point where you just want to tell people to F off and mind their own business. It's just really aggravating. So as far as getting to the permissions goes now, this is perfect. Same as say, don't get any hassle anymore. Mechanically, it's absolutely brilliant, especially now it's had a tune from Carl at Vector Air. I'm getting the accuracy at ranges that I weren't before, and my overall impression of it is it's absolutely spot on. It's just what I wanted. Now, I could have gone for the Pathfinder that's got a bottle on. It's more or less the same size, a little bit bigger, a little bit heavier. The Pathfinder's got a bottle on it. I think you get around 200 shots out of it. But I'm more than happy with this. And same as say, if I need any more air, I just take the little bottle with me, and that's more than enough. So yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time, where hopefully I'll be fishing. I've not had much enthusiasm for fishing for the last few months, so these little trips out up to these permissions with the gun have been really good for me, just to get me out of the house and get me doing something. And I do enjoy shooting, especially targets. I do like shooting targets, but I come up for the rat permissions as well. So yeah, anybody thinking of buying one, I would recommend them. I probably just got a bit of a dud when I first bought it, so I say it was good enough for what I was doing rat shooting at close range, but if you needed to use it out at longer ranges, you just could not get your holdover right. You couldn't judge it because it was up and down. That was because the actual power was up and down on the gun. But now it's sorted, yeah, can't go wrong with it. So anybody thinking of getting one, I would recommend them. And that's it basically. So thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time. See you later.